What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, and today we got to talk about this ongoing feud between Austin Rivers and Steven Jackson. Now, many NBA players have, some feelings towards Austin Rivers just based off his father bringing him into the Clippers locker room. They felt like he was extending Austin's career longer than it deserved to be, and not only extending it, but he was taking playing time from players that felt like they should have been playing ahead of him. Um, and Doc, obviously another case of nepotism. Um, in his position, if your son, if you could justify bringing in your son, he's good enough to play at the NBA level, then you would hope to be in a position to do that one day. And so I understand it from both sides, right? Austin Rivers has maintained that he deserved to be there, one of the best high school players in the nation. Went to Duke University, had a decent freshman season there, and went into the lottery. So he's saying that it's not because of Doc that he went to the NBA. He kind of did that off his own merit and the work he put into the game. Austin Rivers has been going viral lately for a few conversations, but none more than the NBA to NFL, what athletes would translate better to whose sport. And you've had NFL players, NBA players, and everyone in between come out and give their think pieces on, the talking points of whichever stance they took, right? Um, in the midst of that, Steven Jackson has been asked about what he thinks about Austin Rivers and what he had to say about that. And he kind of downplayed Austin Rivers and said he doesn't want to be included in any conversation involving Austin Rivers. We're going to look at what Austin Rivers said to Steven Jackson's initial slight a few months back. And we're going to look at, what Steven Jackson said in recent days about Austin Rivers and Austin Rivers' rebuttal on X. Let's check it out.
On me, so I said, fuck it. I can't get him. I'm gonna get one of your teammates. Then we're gonna have to take it like that.
Who'd you get?
Austin Rivers. I just had to take him out.
Hey,
Fuck it. I'm looking up, I'm trying to get him. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna take him out there. Fuck it, man.
I don't like Austin Rivers.
I had to do something.
He swear he nice.
We're gonna make something shake, man.
You would have got him too? I mean, when we had his daddy on, his daddy like, yeah, I know you don't like, yeah, I don't like your son. You sure right, coach.
Why did Stack diss me? You'd have to ask him. I don't know him. I've never met him. I don't really care to. I don't really see or feel his comments. By the way, the whole world cooked him when he said it. I didn't really need to respond. You know what I mean? If you argue with an idiot from far, no one knows who's who. I'm not going to take my time to entertain delusion, man. I wish him nothing but the best. All success. Really, not really. I don't have anything negative to say about any of those guys, man. I have nothing but respect to all the guys that play in the league. I know how hard it is to get there, just like he does, so his comments were weird.
Austin Rivers came out a while ago and talked about more NBA players could play in the NFL than NFL in the NBA. If you could have been a pro in another sport, which one could you have been a pro in?
I just don't want to be in no conversation with Austin Rivers' name's involved. Like, why is his name even involved? Like, I don't even want to answer a question with his name is phrased in it. Austin Rivers is somebody not relevant nowhere.
So Austin Rivers took to his X account, and this is what he said back. He said, "This is so ironic considering he stays having my name in his mouth. I have never met this guy, by the way. LOL. The comments say it all. He's at it again. Poor dude starving for attention. Sad sight, to be honest. I honestly wish him nothing but the best for real. Good God, bro, grow up." And he covers his face. And that was Austin Rivers' latest response. And there's kind of been this thing with NBA players. Like I said before, they feel like he's only where he's at because of his father, and he didn't earn where he's at right now. And I think the thing earlier that had him and Steven Jackson getting into it was, the whole thing where he said that he was like Bronny, or I didn't want to say he was like Bronny because he said he was a much better player than Bronny in high school, but he said that um, he knows what it's like to be the son of a parent like that. And the way he was able to kind of come into the league, being a little more organic, even though it was Doc's son, it was a little more organic, not as much talking about it. Whereas LeBron was out in the forefront saying, man, Bronny can do what some of these dudes do on an NBA team. And I didn't necessarily agree with that. You're not supposed to disrespect the game like that. When Bronny is out there in high school saying that he can do what some of the guys in the league do. That's disrespectful. And you just kind of, if he can, right, you just let him get out there and do it. You don't add that pressure to him. So now if he becomes the worst player in the league or even one of the worst players in the G League at that level, you've added that burden on him instead of just letting him kind of carve his own niche and find his own way through this journey. You put that father, a LeBron stamp of approval on it, and now people are looking for a totally different product that he's able to deliver. And I'm talking about people that are casual fans. I think most basketball fans understand that Bronny is entering the NBA because he's your son at this point. Not saying he could have never got there, because he has the athleticism and the body to be able to potentially play in the NBA one day. But obviously, anyone else with this stat line and coming back from that health scare that he came back from does not enter the NBA after one season under these conditions. And I think, but I say all that to say that was the genesis of the argument and the kind of public feud between Austin Rivers and Steven Jackson. So they've been going back and forth. Austin Rivers has addressed him on social media before too. I just left some of it out. Wanted to discuss this. Wanted to know you guys' takes on it. They're both in the podcast space now, so this may continue to blow up. What I will say is, if Steven Jackson, seeing Austin Rivers get the job and Doc, being the reason that he was able to play with the Clippers. I mean, you just have to look at it. I mean, Austin Rivers, what is he going to do? Not take the job, and that's the job that's available for him in the NBA. Um, Now his attitude, that's been another thing people been saying. Like, his dad kind of protect him from some things that would have normally happened to him in some of those locker rooms and stuff like that. Um, I think Austin Rivers, man, one thing I will say about him is on his podcast, right? I don't agree with all his takes or the way he says things, but I think you're getting Austin Rivers' real take and how he feels, just like I do with Steven Jackson. For the most part, I think some of the people that he's talking about and um, him and Austin Rivers, man, I really think a conversation with them too. Sometimes it's just your interaction and the one or few interactions you've had with people, or just what you've heard about them from a group of people that you trust. You've now formulated a full opinion on a person, and sometimes that's fair based off who's telling you, and sometimes it's a little unfair based off what the person used to be and how much they've grown since their interaction with the people that's telling you. So, I don't know, man. I think this Austin Rivers thing, if somebody put it like this, if somebody's not beefing with you, Austin Rivers clearly don't want a beef or don't want to have an issue with them, then you leave those people alone. It's enough people out there that wish you harm, uh, wish bad things on your life and everything. So Austin Rivers is a non-threat to Steven Jackson, and um, Austin Rivers seems to be happy about where he at in his life, and Steven Jackson. I mean, I guess he's happy with his family too, but there's no need to feel some sort of way if y'all never met. You see what I'm saying? This is just, especially at the age that he's at, right? That's some middle school stuff, or some early high school stuff. But as a grown man, having problems where the other person clearly don't want a problem, never met you, and don't feel a way about you, you kind of let those things aside, and you just keep it moving, man. Y'all might not be cool, but ain't no need to speak ill of them either, man. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.